Okay, I'm going to take you through the Hekesh section, which is the most complicated section here. In the Kal Vachomer section, the Gemara tried to derive the rule for Rotzech from the rule for Nara Morasa. That it wanted to do that based on a logical inference. This is clearly worse than that. Therefore, if we know the rule for this, then clearly that rule must apply to this thing, which is definitely worse. Now, the challenge that rejected that was, do we give punishment from logic? But the reason that the rabbis don't want to impose a punishment based on logic is because it is very easy to raise various kinds of challenges to that logic or to argue logic in a different direction. So instead, the Gemara offers the following. Debei Rabbi Tana. This is a breita of the school of Rabbi. Hekeshehu. It is a Hekesh. Now, note here that the Gemara is kind of using the technical term for this method. Notice also we're dealing with the same two cases, Na'ara Morasa and Rotzeach. It's just that the relationship between them, the type of limud, is going to be different. Work? Well, here is the verse that we saw about the Rotzeach that comes from the Na'ara Morasa passage. If you recall, in the shot of the verse, the text wanted to tell us that the Na'ara is considered completely guiltless, and we know that because it is just like a Rotzeach. So the Rotzeach is the thing that we know, and the Torah wanted to tell us that the same thing would apply to the Na'ara. Right? In murder, we know the victim didn't consent. The unknown, we learn that rape is like that. But the rabbis assume that there should be a new law when they have a connection like this. So that's v'chimalamanu me'rotzeach. Not just what do we learn, but what law is the Torah teaching us by comparing the Na'ara to the Rotzeach. The fact is, there is no law, because it already told us explicitly that l'na'ara lo ta'aseh davar. So since there's no law, actually, me'ata, from here, harei ze ba'al lamed v'nimtza lamed. It's a tricky phrase, but essentially it means it comes to do one thing and ends up doing the opposite. It is presented as if it is the Rotzeach case. It's presented as if it is teaching, but in fact, it ends up learning. The Na'ara is known, meaning there is something that we know about the Na'ara case that we are going to apply also to the Rotzeach case. The reverse of what seems to be the relationship in the original text. It connects mekish Rotzeach l'Na'ara Morasa. It links. Okay? The same term Hekesh, just the verb. It links Rotzeach to Na'ara Morasa. And then we have a construction that we have seen before. Ma'af. Just as this, so too that. And Ma'af is always taking something we know about case A and saying just as this is true of case A, so too it is true of case B. And we obviously know, based on the sugya, that the thing that we are going to transfer is that just as the Na'ara Morasa, the attacker can be killed to stop him, so too that applies to the Rotzeach. So, how is the key thing? How is that different from the Kal Vachomer? It is the same two cases. We are learning the same rule from the Arasa and the Morasa to Rotzeach. the key is that the Kal V'chomer is logic, din. V'chi onchin min hadin. Thus, logic can be constructed in multiple ways. It is inherently uncertain. But more than that, logic is our own inference. I think that this is obvious. Maybe someone else doesn't. Maybe God doesn't. I'm saying it on my authority. Hekesh is based on the way the Torah lays out the two inyanim and places them together. The Torah intentionally places them in relation to each other, and by doing so, the Torah is indicating something to us about their relationship. Therefore, the connection between them is something the Torah is showing us, not something that we are deciding for ourselves. And therefore, the connection and the legal transference that we're making based on that connection carry the weight of the Torah's authority. It is therefore now the Torah which authorizes us to take the rule from the one case and extend it to the other. So, all together, it is a Hekesh. How does it work? Ki kasher yakum shel rehu ortachon nefesh, the verse of Arutzeach, which seems to be teaching about the Nara Morasa, teaching from the Arutzeach about Nara Morasa, but what does the Arutzeach teach? In fact, nothing. And that, just like the example of the sun shining, and clearly the pshat has a hole, and that is the opening for moving to the midrashic reading. We're turning the relationship around. It's actually linking Mekish, the Rotzeach, to the Nara Morasa, so that we can learn from Nara to Rotzeach. And the law that connection is meant to teach is the law that we have been focusing on.